This video is sponsored by CZUR. This is the CZUR Fancy S Pro, and it's a 3-in-1 document camera, webcam, and scanner. I've attended many classes on Zoom and presented on video calls before, plus managed streaming for a college organization, so I can definitely say I'm aware of how painful to use webcams and streaming tech can be. That's why I wanted to test out the Fancy S Pro, which claims to be a streamlined modern solution for presenting, streaming, and scanning. Plus, when I first saw the swivel head function to switch between the overhead view and the webcam, I thought it was pretty genius and something that could be genuinely very useful. So let's talk about my experience with the Fancy S Pro. The camera head of this system has a 12 megapixel sensor with autofocus, and if you point that camera straight down and extend the stand to its max height, you can broadcast an up to A3 sized area. Regardless of what your standard paper size is, that's about 2 sheets of them put together by their long sides. Now, as we get into setup and controls, think back to teachers and professors you had that used document cameras to show stuff to the class. Specifically, think of how many struggled with doing so, whether it be connecting to the computer, locking in focus, or getting the exposure right. With that in mind, let me run through the refreshingly simple Fancy S Pro setup process and controls. Setup was honestly non-existent, as this thing's practically plug and play. I was able to instantly see what the camera was seeing just by jumping to the stock camera app. To fully use this guy though, you want the CZUR Visualizer, which has a one-click installation that takes just a few seconds. And as for the physical controls, going clockwise from the on-off light, there's a button to flip the image upside down and back, exposure down, focus, exposure up, and the light button to turn the light on or off and cycle through 3 intensities. That's all the buttons, and they're labeled intuitively and work perfectly from my experience. And in the middle, there's an autofocus on-off switch, plus the whole camera module rotates to physically switch between horizontal or vertical video. Being able to natively stream or record vertical video is actually a big deal these days. But I think how seamless setup is, plus just going over the controls, demonstrates how many headaches with presenting or streaming the Fancy S Pro would alleviate. Setup is simple and easy, the image quality is great, the autofocus is fast when you want it, and all the other functions sit behind intuitively labeled controls. So yeah, if I happen to also teach photography lessons in addition to doing the videos I already do, I could pop my camera under the Fancy S Pro and easily show off camera controls, for example. And if I was to switch to tutoring, even though the GPA definitely dropped after last semester, I could show you all my assignments and annotate stuff using this guy as a document camera. Now let me give CZUR some credit for putting this triple threat camera system into a super clean and modern design. The whole thing feels weighty and solid, and looks good too with a simple squared off design plus some round accents. The colors are simple but nice too, and you might think this thing was a minimal lamp if you didn't know better. My only constructive criticism would be I wish the main arm snapped into a 90-degree position, because while you can tighten or loosen its joint, sometimes it drifts down a little if you bump it or the surface it's sitting on. The packaging is just as nice as the Fancy S Pro itself, especially for what some might consider a less exciting office product. But enough with aesthetics, let's move into even more functions of the Fancy S Pro. I'll talk about the physical positioning options of the Fancy S Pro as our transition into its webcam capabilities. So the main stand can extend up and down, the arm swings back and forth, and the camera head can be moved up and down. This allows for getting unique camera angles, so for situations where straight down isn't ideal, you can easily drop down into a different view. But the real magic of all this flexibility is flipping the camera up to turn this guy into a webcam. It makes perfect sense, but I've never seen any other product cover these 2 functions. So from my experience with using this as a webcam, I'll say A, it's definitely higher quality than any webcam I've personally used, but B, you'll want to make sure everything is well lit, because these types of cameras can drop their frame rate pretty often if there's not adequate light. Also, dynamic range is not amazing, but if you take care of having enough and even enough light, you'll get solid, crispy 4K video with a surprising amount of depth of field. Just like the document camera function we spent a good amount of time talking about earlier, the webcam function brings seamless functionality to attending Zoom meetings, presenting, or streaming. Let me take a few minutes to show some example footage of the webcam and document camera variety recorded on the Fancy S Pro. Alright, so here's some example video using the CZUR Fancy S Pro as a webcam. I am using my mic right here for audio, and then to our upper left and right, got my 2 softboxes for some hopefully close to ideal lighting conditions, although we do have a little bit of spillover from the window in the back. But back to the Fancy S Pro, I got it sitting on my standing desk in front of me with its own stand fully extended, and then I got the top camera module flipped up towards me to make it act like a webcam. And I hope this whole video sample with close to perfect conditions gives you an idea of how good this guy's video can get, regardless of whether you end up using it for streaming, recording, or presenting. Let's do an autofocus test to wrap things up. And let's do my watch as well, why not? CZUR wanted me to focus on the document camera and webcam uses of the Fancy S Pro in this video, which I'd guess is because they're more established in the world of scanners, but I will very briefly say I scanned a few things using this guy and it works very well with their software. Among other things, the software offers curve flattening technology, OCR or image to text in 180 plus languages, and AI optimization for searching through documents. And that's just scanning, one of the 3 things the Fancy S Pro does and does well. Let me know what you think of this guy and if you relate to any of the struggles I mentioned with less seamless products. I'll drop purchase links to the Fancy S Pro down below the subscribe button, and I'll see you later.